See, we got this here. It's a brand new dance and it's about to go live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten 2 steps, step to the right. Then you tighten 2 steps, step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere. Game crazy, yeah, we got it all. Sticking out our chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Out there. It's about to get her up. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest. We can know it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. We know it like it's King Kong. You tighten 2 steps, step to the right. Then you tighten 2 steps, step to the left. Sticking out my chest. We know it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. We know it like it's King Kong.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing this evening? Welcome into a brand new edition of Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a good episode going on tonight. And I'm glad everybody's here. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Lee Hillis. His big birthday is today. If y'all know him on Facebook, y'all need to go give him a shout out. Go give him some love. And give him some happy birthday love to Mr. Lee Hillis. Good young man. But everybody, welcome into Titans of Truth. I hope everybody's doing good this evening. Thank y'all. I had to take a good nap before to get ready for the show to be energized, and we are definitely that. Also, wanted to give a shout out to the Titans fan club of Memphis. My guy, Larry Gucci Garman. Miss Tracy Price, Miss Michelle Hobson Harper, Miss Tony LaSure, everybody out there, Miss Portia Harrison, and the entire Titans fan club of Memphis. They always show me love every time I show up at the spot. Big Anthony Bridgeforth, my guy. I'm just, I'm glad to be a part of a good fan base of people here in Memphis, even though I'm not back home in Nashville where I used to be and where I love to be, but hey, we all Titan fans up in here, and we are going to have some fun as we get ready as the Red Hot Titans, 3 in a row Tennessee Titans, head out west and take their last visit to the current black hole that is the Oakland Raiders. I see some people in here. D09, what's up? It is time. Derek Roberts, what's going on? And shout out to Alton Hood and them of Nimzilla Park. That is their new Titan 2-step remix. Welcome to Nashville. Y'all make sure y'all go check it out. I'm gonna put the link back on the fan page. Y'all go download that. It is free to download. Y'all make sure y'all download that and join in the Titan 2-step. The remix is out, it's live, got the lyrics, it's real cool. I enjoy it. Shout out to my man Alton Hood and shout out to Nimzilla Park as it is. So AZ Mick, what's going on? Pete, what's going on? But yeah, let's talk about what's going on. Now, the Red Hot Titans, of course, beat the Colts 31-17 in Indy with 2 good interceptions. Derrick Henry running for 149 yards. Tannehill throwing 2 touchdowns. And we got not 1, but 2 block kicks in this game. It was beautiful, and it was a great game. And, of course, if y'all want to really talk about that, go back and watch on the the TNT Enforcers fan page. Y'all check out the recap as I talk about that. But let's get into this week as we get ready for the Oakland Raiders. News coming out, of course, last night. It was announced the Tennessee Titans claimed former Arizona Cardinals defensive back Tremaine Brock Sr. off waivers yesterday. Of course, this is coming, of course, with Adoree Jackson going down in the game against Indy, and LaShawn Sims missed last week, and Malcolm Butler already out for the year. secondary is kind of depleted some. So we needed some reinforcements, and we got one in Tremaine Brock Sr., a 10-year veteran. Has played for, this is his fifth team that he'll be playing for. He's played in 113 career games with 52 starts, 11 career interceptions. He was playing pretty well this year for Arizona. He had 37 tackles. He had 37 tackles, 3 passes defense, and was rated as the top corner for Pro Football Focus. I want to say for Arizona. I don't think it was for the league. It was for Arizona. But 5'10", 197 pounds, 31-year-old from last played college ball at Belhaven. He played at Minnesota some as well, and a good experienced player to bring in for a very depleted secondary. Because, I mean, right now, all we would have had is Logan Ryan, Ty Smith, Kareem Orr. That's it. That's all we would have had cornerback wide. Now, we got Dane Cruikshank and Amani Hooker could play corner, but we needed a solid corner, and we did get one with Tremaine Brock. So that was actually very good for them to bring him in. That secondary help is something we definitely needed on that. So very, very solid. Derrick Henry. Y'all make sure y'all go to NFL.com/FedEx and go vote for Derrick Henry. He is nominated for FedEx Ground Player of the Week for his performance. I've already voted. Y'all make sure y'all go on there and vote. And I forgot about Josh Kalu. That's right. Kalu is in there as well. Mr. Blockmaster. So that's right on that. So thank y'all for reminding me. That is correct. We do have Josh Kalu as well. So y'all definitely go on there, NFL.com/FedEx. Vote for Derrick Henry for the FedEx Ground Player of the Week. He can win it 3 weeks in a row if he gets that. So definitely go ahead and do that. Shout out to Delaney Walker. Of course, he was doing a pizza party for kids and for the kids giving back in the community. And he basically said on Twitter that this ain't over. It is not the end. He plans on being healthy and ready to go for a 15th season. Now, is that with the Titans? That still remains to be seen. I want to see Delaney Walker finish his career as a Tennessee Titan, but hey, if Jonnu Smith keeps coming on like he is, doing a lot better, Delaney Walker could be expendable, but I want him to finish his career as a Tennessee Titan. And also to Kevin Byard, the big KB, of course, he was helping out at the Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee, was giving back by packing up food boxes for needy kids and needy families in the Middle Tennessee area. So shout out to Kevin Byard for that, and I definitely props to all the things that the Tennessee Titans do in the community. Of course, right before Thanksgiving last week, they worked with the Bridge Ministry. They fed the homeless under the Jefferson Street Bridge in Nashville. So that was always big. They do that every year around the Thanksgiving holiday. Make sure they give back. Make sure they feed the homeless and things like that. So if you got a chance to feed the homeless in your community, you can go to your homeless shelter. They have the Nashville Rescue Mission in Nashville. I'm definitely going to find one of the food banks here in Memphis and probably help give back as well. Something like that. That is actually very, very important to give back in your community. Shout out to the Titans for doing that. But with that being said, now let's talk football, because it is time to find out who is your two-tone blue star of the week, because there's quite a few nominees to go around. I mean, everybody could get in on the act. Everybody could get in on the act, honestly. It could be Cruikshank and Ty Smith for blocking that field goal and returning for a touchdown. Austin Johnson blocking a field goal attempt. Derrick Henry running for 149 yards. Tannehill with two touchdown passes in the game. Also, Logan Ryan, Kevin Byard, each with picks, things like that. Harold Landry coming along, another sack. He has a sack in 5 straight games. As you can see it, Arthur Smith and Mike Vrabel getting consideration. Craig Ackerman, the special teams coordinator, definitely. So, I mean, there's a lot of nominees to go around with that because, I mean, Mike Vrabel makes a gutsy call on 4th down, deciding to run Derrick Henry, and that's a touchdown. He decided to challenge. There was a challenge, I believe, at the end of the game for a there was a Colt player who fumbled, and they ruled it incomplete. But they ruled it incomplete, or they ruled it that he was down by contact, and it showed that the ball was out. That the ball was out, and that the Titans recovered, and that essentially ended the game. So there are a lot of nominees to go around. Who do y'all think is the two-tone blue star of the week? I see Terrence saying Dane for Crookshank. AZ Mix saying special teams. Derek Roberts said King Henry. D09 says King Henry. Pete saying special teams. Terrence special teams. Belvis special teams. Let's see. Jose saying special teams. Joseph is saying special teams. It looks like special teams is really running it here on Facebook. Lee saying star. Dane Cruikshank, Ty Smith. Ryan says special teams. James is saying special teams. I mean, it looks like it's a pretty big landslide at who the two-tone blue stars of the week are, and it is going to go to the entire special teams unit as a whole. And we're not just talking about the Dane Cruikshank, Ty Smith blocked field goal. We can say that with Austin Johnson blocking a field goal, Brett Kern, the best punter in the league, pinning the Colts deep. I mean, he's been doing that all year. I don't think I remember a punt that Brett Kern has hit that hasn't been inside the 20, honestly. I think all of his punts have been inside the 20. And quite a few of them have been inside the 10 or inside the 5. So shout out to the entire special teams unit and Craig Ackerman, because I know my boy Jared Stillman at one point wanted the special teams coach fired at one point. And right now, special teams has become a pretty hot commodity on this particular football team right now. And so definitely shout out to the special teams unit for the two-tone blue star of the week. But, of course, whenever there is a star of the week, you got to go to the other side. And there's always somebody who doesn't do very well, and they are the dunce of the day. So I want to get y'all nominations for that too. Who is your dunce of the day? What's up, Just Me 8174? Who didn't do so well in this particular game? I definitely remember Lee Hiller says the Jets. He says the Jets, I guess, for their performance in their last game, which I don't even remember who the Jets played in their last game. I'm actually about to try to look that up and see who was it that the Jets lost to recently. But and you can even go around the league. We ain't got to just talk just Titans on that. Who is your dunce of the day? Lee Hill is saying the Jets. Ryan says the O-line. James coming in saying Ben Jones. Let's see. Khalil says the Colts fans. Wow. Let's see. Shane coming in saying the O-line, giving up 6 sacks. Let's see who y'all thinking. D09 saying Colts kicker Adam Vinatieri. Terrence Young saying Colts fans. P. Hicks says Freddie Kitchens. The Bengals beating the Jets, getting their first win. There you go. And how fitting that happens. The Jets lose to the Bengals. The Bengals get their first win over the Jets. And right before that, the Jets blow out our next opponent, the Oakland Raiders. Don't really understand that at all with that. So the Jets do deserve a Dunce of the Day nomination with that. But I would have to say definitely the Dunce of the Day has to go to the offensive line. I definitely have to say that because the offensive line is, I said this right when Marcus Mariota got benched. I said this. I said we were going to find out the root of the problem. We were really going to get to the root of the problem now. Is the problem the offensive line or is the problem the quarterback? And I think we're really starting to find out that the problem is this offensive line. And the offensive line wasn't horrible. I think one of the sacks was on Tannehill. There was one sack where Tannehill was dropping back. I think he did a play action, was rolling to his left. And before Tannehill could even start rolling to his left, 2 guys were already right there in his face, and that's where he fumbled the ball. And the Colts recovered with that. And I mean, that's something the Titans have really got to clean up. And we're not going to go too much into mock drafts at all because, right now the Titans are doing well, so no need to go into that. However, I'm going to say, and I've said this before, and I'm on record of saying this, that forget about drafting a quarterback in the first round. I'm just making sure I tweet some stuff out. Forget about drafting a quarterback in the first round. You don't have to now at this moment. Especially if the Titans get to where they're right there in the playoffs. Yeah, they ain't got to draft a quarterback right now. Right now, I would say you got to go and draft an offensive lineman. You could draft an offensive lineman and really shore up the offensive line. Definitely, I wouldn't necessarily say we need a tackle. If they decide to move on from Jack Conklin, I could see offense. I could see a tackle being a possibility, but the main problem of the offensive line is not the tackles. It is in the inside of the line. I could see where Ben Jones moves to guard and you move Nate Davis out. Let him learn. I know they're trying to give Nate Davis every opportunity, and I really didn't even get to go back and see every sack to see whose fault it is on that. Right now, Roger Saffold has gotten a little better, but it's not much better. Ben Jones, I think, is about done, even though I know they extended him with a 2-year deal, but they could probably get out of that contract after this year. That was just this offseason. So I'm pretty sure they could get out of that contract pretty much. But it seems and Jose is putting it right on the head. Stunts. Every NFL team that plays the Tennessee Titans knows that we're struggling with stunts. They know that the stunts are our weakness, and they're going to use that. They're going to plot to use stunts on every drive to to stop our offensive line from blocking to get to Ryan Tannehill. They're gonna do that, and I would too. If it was me, I would be doing stunts on almost every other possession or every other play, especially in passing situations. I would be doing my version of the Texas twist. Absolutely, I would definitely be doing that because our O line has not proven that um they've been able to pick that up. They have not been able to communicate well. And I know that people will always say, well, it takes years. It takes a year for an offensive line to really gel. It takes a year for the offensive line to at least gel. True, it does take time for an offensive line to gel. However, with that being said, you still got to know how to protect. You still got to know those intricacies. And if anything, if you know that teams are going to try to stun on you, Keith Carter, the offensive line coach, who stinks, by the way, should be teaching them, hey, we're going to practice on making sure you pick up these stunts, communicate, know who to pick up on, even if it's delay. If they start off, for example, defensive end on the outside, tackle on the inside, they start off that way. And then if you notice that you pick it up one, if you notice somebody starting to come around, you better say, for example, Roger Saffold or Taylor Lewan. You could say something like, hey, Taylor, come right, pick up right. And then Saffold picks up his man that's coming, twisting inside. Lewan can get the guy coming outside. And vice versa. You know, Lewan could say to Saffold, hey, switch, something like that. So that way it's about communication. You got to be able to communicate. That is a key to a good offensive line. You got to be able to communicate. You got to be able to know what's coming. You got to see blitzes coming. And that's Ben Jones's job as the quarterback of the offensive line. You got to be able to do that. Belvin saying 17 playing great ball security. Yes, that is a valid point because Ryan Tannehill has fumbled at least once in every start. Not a very good number. And Mike Vrabel was saying this earlier. We were talking about this earlier in the year that, we were recovering our own fumbles, but now we're starting to see our fumbles go the other way, and it's costing us. The game against Henry, against Indy, Derrick Henry fumbles. What happens? They score a touchdown off of that. Ryan Tannehill fumbles. Luckily, Vinatieri misses a field goal. So we got a lot to clean up. We definitely have our work to clean up on that. Jose said we need to fire Keith Carter, bring back Russ Grimm. I would love it if they brought Russ Grimm back, but I think Russ Grimm is dealing with some health issues right now. That is pretty bad. That's why he's not the offensive line coach now. I think Vrabel would have kept him, but he's dealing with some health issues, so he retired. That's why. Also, I said besides offensive line getting a guard or tackle, I would say a defensive lineman or pass rusher would be a good idea in the first round as well. Maybe like a Tyler Badaz in Wisconsin. Any Wisconsin offensive lineman would be good because them offensive linemen can run block, definitely, and probably does pretty good in pass blocking. That's O-line U is Wisconsin. Defensive line, I would say like Derek Brown from Auburn or Raekwon Davis, maybe in the second round from Alabama, somebody like that. Or if that Javon Kinlaw from South Carolina, I see he's a wrecking ball. I'll be talking more about the draft later, but just looking at that, don't need to draft a quarterback in the first round. Conklin, I think he's going to walk. We'll definitely have to see about that. Let's see. And we'll definitely talk about that too. But since we have announced our star of the week and our dunce of the day, it is now time for pick my brain. Pick my brain. Y'all get to ask me questions. So now it's time for y'all to ask me some questions. And we're going to get right into it. Let's get right there into it. Okay, there we go. Because I had a few. And I'm going to get to y'all questions in just a minute. Let's see. We got from James Sally on the Facebook page. If or when we make the playoffs, how far do you think we go? He's thinking all the way. Honestly, if we get into the playoffs, anything can happen. I mean, right now we are 7-5. The Texans have a 1-game lead on us now, really 2 games because we haven't played them yet. We'll get our opportunity to have the last 3 weeks to do so. The Texans are good, but I think we could take them. So I definitely see us possibly going 10-6, getting to that last spot. Right now, Pittsburgh is the only team we really got to worry about right now because they're the only team that's ahead of us. We need Pittsburgh to start taking some losses. And I think I can't remember who Pittsburgh is playing Sunday. Give me a second. I'm finna pull that up and see who the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing. But that's the team right now we have to worry about at the moment. They're playing the Cardinals. Which they're probably going to win that game. Then they're playing the Bills on Sunday night next week. After we play the Houston Texans. That was a game. The Texan game was being considered going to Sunday night, but instead they decided to go Bills and Steelers on that. So that Week 17 game against the Texans could be for the division, not just to get into the playoffs. Both teams may very well have clinched playoff spots by then. That game could very well be winner is the division champ, the loser is the 6th seed. That very well could be the case with that. So in the playoffs, I could say I think if we're in a wild card game, especially at home, I think we advance to the divisional round. And if it's the Patriots, I think the Patriots could be had. I think the Patriots honestly could be had, even if it is in Foxborough, because even up there with cold weather and things like that, I think the Patriots are for the picking. Even though when it comes to the playoffs, the Patriots do tend to turn it on, but Derrick Henry weather. Cold weather is Derrick Henry weather. Playoff weather is Derrick Henry weather. And I think that the Patriots could be prime for the picking. Now, if we get to an AFC Championship game against Baltimore, that is going to be tough. Baltimore is going to be a very tough team to beat. Lamar Jackson is playing at an all-time high. I do think we can beat them because I think we could match up with them defensively, even though they're very good defensively. Now, Adoree Jackson, he has to be healthy in that game because Hollywood Brown is a burner. And we have got to keep an eye on Lamar Jackson taking off. He will take off without a moment's notice and run. We will have to use that to his disadvantage and keep him in a pocket. So I'm going to say AFC Championship game. I think it's as far as we go. Now, granted, I want us to go further. I'm just thinking realistically. I'm putting the fan Chris aside. I'm being the analyst. And I'm thinking AFC Championship is where we end up going. And I think we get that far. Now, if we get into the Super Bowl, I would love it. I would love it. But I'm just saying, realistically, right now, on December the 4th, I think if we get in the playoffs, we get to the AFC Championship game. So let's see. Czar asking, are you worried the Titans botched the Derrick Henry contract situation by offering him too little or waiting too long? No, absolutely not. I mean, right now you have to see what you got. Derrick Henry was a second round pick, so he doesn't get a 5th-year option. So what can happen is they either sign Derrick Henry to a new deal at the end of the year, going into next year, or they could franchise him. Definitely. And he'll get paid somewhere north of $10 million if they franchise him. But no, absolutely not worried. Derrick Henry will be back next season. Now, I do say with this, even if Derrick Henry comes back, you have got to draft a running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield, and run between the tackles. And if I do a Derrick Henry deal, I'm doing 4 years, and I can find a way out after 2 years, because shelf life for running backs are very, very short. Very short. Most running backs don't last longer than about 7 years because they're going to get hurt, they're going to get injured, or there's some wear and tear. Now, Derrick Henry had a lot of wear and tear in Alabama, but he didn't have as much in the first couple of years because of DeMarco Murray. So we're definitely going to see. But Derrick Henry takes very good care of himself. He works out very well. He takes care of himself. I don't remember Derrick Henry really missing a game. I think Derrick Henry maybe in his entire career has maybe missed one game, maybe in his whole career in the NFL, if I want to say. If I'm not mistaken, I would say one game he's probably missed. And that was with DeMarco Murray on the team, if I'm not mistaken. So Derrick Henry could definitely carve out a Frank Gore Hall of Fame legendary type of career. Let's see. Shane brings me in some good questions. He says, do you think if we win the next game, we're extending Henry and Tannehill? I'm going to say no matter what, we're extending them both. Obviously, the top 3 priorities is Henry, Tannehill, Ryan. Those are our top 3. We got to re-sign those 3 guys, without a doubt. And I know somebody asked, do we let Conklin go or do we keep him? I think, honestly, we're going to let Conklin go. If they believed in Jack Conklin, they would have picked up his 5th-year option. They did not. So I honestly think Conklin walks, in my honest opinion. Do you believe this team has the capability of winning out and winning the division? Absolutely. Right now, the Titans are a hot team right now. If they win this game and win the Texan game at home, yeah, they have a great chance of winning it all out. But I realistically think they're going to slip up either in one of the Texan games or the game against the Saints. I would prefer we lose to the Saints. Now, I don't want us to lose any game, but I would say if we're going to take a loss, the Saints game is the one we should take. We need to beat the Raiders, and we need to sweep the Texans. We do that, we're going to be in the playoffs and could very well win the division. We could very well win the division at that point. Right now, the Colts, the Texans are 8-5, 8-4. They are playing, of course, thanks to the Patriots for not doing us any favors. They're playing the Broncos, and the Broncos, they have 4 wins. They got Drew Lock, so they have a new sense of life. We'll have to see if the Broncos maybe pull off an upset that can help us out. The Colts, the Texans cannot get to 9 wins, cannot get to 10 wins before we play them in that last game. So we've got to keep the Texans from at least 10 wins. If we could tie at 10-6 with the Texans and sweep them, we can win the division. So we got to beat the Texans twice to win the division and beat the Raiders. Plain and simple. Let's see. Where would you rank us on Blue Enforcers power rankings? I don't really do power rankings, so I really can't answer that. Maybe I should start doing that. That might be a pretty good idea. Maybe I should start a power rankings of sorts. Maybe I will do that. If I did do one, maybe I would keep us outside of the top 10, maybe at around 11 or 12, maybe. I would probably say that. Maybe sneak us in the top 10, but honestly, I would say at about 11 if I did it. Honestly. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure I'm not forgetting any other posts. If I have, blame my brain, not my heart. I'm trying to see on Facebook before I go to YouTube questions. Let's see. Just checking, just checking, just checking, just checking. Make sure anybody didn't comment on any other. I said put the questions on the fan page, not on the others. I tried to say that, but some people don't pay attention with that. So yes. Okay. I'm gonna go to now YouTube questions with that. So I'm just going back up a bit. Let's see. Do we keep Conklin? I think he walks. Let's see. If Tua falls, do they pull the trigger if he falls in your lap? That's a very good question. I looked at a mock draft earlier today, and the way it's on Bleacher Report, and the way it was going, they had us picking a receiver, T. Higgins out of Clemson. If it was that situation, I would trade back. Maybe trade back with Miami. Maybe see if I can get one of their second-round picks, preferably pick number 35, because they have 35 and 64 right now in the draft. So I would try to get one of those Miami picks, trade back, maybe still get a guy that I think could be very helpful, an offensive lineman or defensive lineman. Tua, I'm scared of Tua with the injuries. I am scared of Tua. I am scared to death. He has had injury issues throughout his college career. Right now, it's the ankle. Before it was some type of leg injury. He had a wrist injury or something, if I'm not mistaken. Tua is injury prone. I don't want that. I do not want that. We had an injury prone quarterback already, and we benched him. Plain and simple. Don't need no more injury prone quarterbacks. So I would not do that. Now, if we could get to the bottom, if we trade back maybe to the bottom of the first round and Tua is still sitting there, then perhaps maybe I'll take a flyer. But right now, where we're positioned in the, right at 1920, no, I would not do it. I would not do it. Let's see. Like I said, Jose said, how do you combat stunts? I mentioned that earlier. It's about communication. Because in a stunt, in a Texas twist, I play high school ball, and that's how it's done. With the Texas twist, you can have it go either way. You have a defensive end and a defensive tackle, or you have an outside linebacker and a defensive end in a 3-4. You can have it where the defensive end goes first inside, and the defensive end or defensive tackle goes around on the outside. Or you can have it go the other way around where the defensive lineman goes outside and the defensive end or outside linebacker comes inside on the pass rush. You could do that right at jump, or you can do it and kind of delay. A lot of teams have started to do it where they delay. They kind of go upfield like they're going upfield regularly, and then they delay and go into the stunt. It's about communication. You got to see it. You got to feel it. You got to know it's coming. So if you're double teaming on one guy, you got to see the other guy coming. You got to quickly get off and get that guy. If you see he's twisting and he's coming, you got to get that guy before he is right there in your face. That's how I would do it. It's about communication. You got to see it. You got to yell it out so that, you drop one guy off to the tackle, the guard gets the other guy. That's how I would do it. Derek Roberts says if Tua falls, grab him and stash him. Yeah, you could do that. Um, Derek Roberts saying, why can't we trade O-line, our O-line for the Colts O-line? Wouldn't mind doing that, but can't happen. And the Colts won't do it. Just Me says, is Walker done as a Titan? I hope not. I would love to see him come back because I knew this year was trying to be a redemption tour for Delaney Walker, but I don't know. It really depends on the money. If he's too big of a cap hit, I could see the Titans letting him go. Maybe Delaney Walker renegotiates. If he does that, then I'll bring him back. If he's not willing to do that, then as much as I would hate to say goodbye to him, I'll have to say goodbye to him, let him go. He'll be in the Ring of Honor. He deserves that. He deserves to have his jersey retired as a Titan. Absolutely. But we got to make business decisions and everything. So, that's just what I would do. Where's Corey Davis? I don't know why they're not throwing to Corey Davis. I'm kind of mad about that. I know A.J. Brown looking good, but Arthur Smith needs to force feed Corey Davis the football. I would make sure Corey Davis gets at least 5 to 10 targets a game. Now, I know that's not our MO. We're running the ball with Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry is doing so well. That is why receivers are not getting targets, because Derrick Henry is running the rock to the tune of 1,140 yards, and it's probably going to hit at least 1,300. So, I don't know. If Adoree can't go, Hooker can play corner. Yes, Hooker can play corner, but his natural position is a safety. I will put him in the slot. Brock released a youth movement or money. I don't know why Arizona released him, but he could be a blessing for us. That's something that we're definitely going to do. Jose says Steelers' luck can't hold up with a third-string quarterback. Hope not. Do you think Marcus has learned anything sitting behind Tannehill? I would think so. Learn to throw into tight windows. Learn not to be scared. Learn to play smart. Learn to stand in the pocket and don't make pressure that's not there. So I think Marcus has learned some stuff. We'll see what happens when he goes to a new team. Where am I watching the game this Sunday? Tighten up. I'm probably going to be at the Titans fan club of Memphis at Mr. P's Buffalo Wings. I may stop by. I know one of the other Titan fans wants to raid the Raiders fan club spot as well and kind of throw it in their face when we beat them. I don't know where I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna be at some spot, and definitely knowing that my godfather is gonna be watching, I expect my team to win. Let's see, David Johnson or Melvin Gordon. I don't know. Both of them have coming off of injuries. Melvin Gordon was trying to get a new deal, didn't work. He bet on himself and lost. David Johnson, team player. I like him. Maybe to play behind Henry. Won't get hurt so much. We'll definitely see. Let's see. Trying to finish up. Now, Derek, I agree. I think we'd be in a way better position if Tannehill was in that game against the Colts earlier. I think we win that game. And bang, instead of a 7-5, we're 8-4. Maybe with Tannehill, we beat the Bills 9-3. Honestly, I think we could see that. But hey, yes, I agree. Just me. Marcus had to get that last opportunity to see if he was the guy. They had to see, because it was his 5th year. They had to give him a try. And they found out. They got the answer. It is no. So yeah, that's that on that. And Corey is helping AJ Brown, because AJ Brown is balling. Corey Davis has got to ball, but I think they help each other out. And I think we can open it up a little bit more. And this particular game we're going to talk about, it could be that type of game. But Tannehill, his second life is big. And I love it. I really, really love it. But yeah, that's it for Pick My Brain. Thank y'all for the questions. Let's go ahead and quickly talk about the Raiders. Let's preview the Raiders. And as we get ready for this game, 325 out on the West Coast. The Raiders coming in at 6-4. Actually, not 6-4. 6-6 after losing the last two games to the Kansas City Chiefs 40-9. They have been outscored 72-12 in their last two losses. Now, one thing I will say, the Raiders are 5-1 in the black hole. Notice that. 5 of their 6 wins have been at home. They're 5-1 at home. They're 1-5 on the road. And they're trying to send the people of Oakland off with victory as they head to Vegas. But you got some key players. And here are the standings and stats. Of course, the Titans defensively 21st total defense. Don't like that. But they are 10th against the run, 27th against the pass. I don't like that either. But they are in scoring defense still top 10 at number 7. The Raiders, on the other hand, defensively, they're 20th defensively. They are 11th against the run, but it really doesn't matter with that because, the Colts were 8th against the run, and Derrick Henry ran all over them. Tampa Bay at or above what they normally give up and stuff like that. They're 24th against the pass. Could be an A.J. Corey Davis type of game. And they're 28th in points allowed, which means they give up points. And the Titans, offensively, even though they are 24th in offense, they're 9th in running the ball. Yes, they're 27th in passing the ball, mostly because of Derrick Henry. But they are 15th in points scored. They're scoring at least around 23 points a game. And since Tannehill has been the starter, they are second in the league in scoring, right at 30 points a game, right behind Baltimore, with Tannehill as starting. The Raiders are only 16th offensively. They're tied for 10th on running the ball, 15th in passing the ball, but 23rd in points allowed. In points scored. So they move the ball, but they don't score very well. And that's something that we got to try to take advantage of. And some of their hot players, we got Derek Carr. He's got 16 touchdowns, 8 picks. Josh Jacobs is a guy that we have got to take care of. He's already over 1,000 yards, 1,061 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So we're going to have a good matchup of running backs. Max Crosby on defense, 7.5 sacks. Cleveland Farrell with 3.5 sacks. Rookie out of Clemson. So those two rookies are looking really, really good. You got Tahir Whitehead leading the team in tackles. And Eric Harris, the safety, leads them in interceptions with 3 and has taken 2 to the house. So with the Raiders, and I went back and watched the last 2 games. I went back and watched the game against Kansas City and the game against the Jets. And they looked awful in both. They looked very awful. They looked like they would have a good offensive line, but the Jets got after them, forced some bad passes. Defensively, they do have some trouble. They seem to have some trouble, especially in the secondary. Now, don't get me wrong. They have a pretty nice pair in the front 7 with Crosby and Cleveland Farrell, and also Mayora Brent Mayora has 7 sacks as well. And I tried to find out with the Raiders who maybe didn't practice, because I know Hunter Renfrow did not play in the last game for the Raiders. I don't think he's played in the he didn't play in the last game for the Raiders. So I'm trying to see if I can find out any type of injury report on the Raiders, but they really haven't said anything. So I mean, I know that's probably John Gruden trying to not tell us anything. So we got to be prepared for everybody. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Trent Brown, the tackle, did not practice. Rodney Hudson, the center, and so 3 of the offensive linemen either didn't practice or are limited. Josh Jacobs didn't practice, but I expect him to play. LaMarcus Joyner, the safety, was limited. Hunter Renfrow and Kyle Wibbler, the linebacker, did not practice. I don't know who Kyle Wibbler is. So I don't know if Hunter Renfrow is going to play in this game, but we do need to watch out for Josh Jacobs running the ball. We got to take care of him. Darren Waller is a guy that scares the crap out of me. And we've had our trouble defending the tight end in the past. Waller is having a Pro Bowl season. He's got 67 catches, 800 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's right there with Travis Kelce as one of the best tight ends in the league this year. Got to watch out for that. Again, they're a pair of defensive ends with Farrell and Max Crosby. They can get after the quarterback and everything. So we have to be careful, which leads me to the Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Let's start on defense. Number 1, stop the run. And we have been doing a very good job as of late doing that. We've shut down Jonathan Williams and Naeem Hines in the Colt game. They really didn't do anything in that game as far as running the football. Before that, Leonard Fournette only had 91 yards. He didn't get to 100. And also we, took down the Chiefs with Williams. Damian Williams didn't really do anything. So we did a very good job against the run recently. And I think we need to keep that up because Josh Jacobs is going to get a lot of carries. He's going to get carries. We got to take them out to where they cannot go to him. So we've got to shut the run down early. And there's another reason. There's something else that we can do to help with that too. And that'll be on the offensive side. I'll explain later. Number 2, force turnovers and contain Darren Waller. We got to force some interceptions because Derek Carr is going to throw some pickable balls. He's going to throw some balls that we can intercept. He did that against Kansas City. He also did that against the Jets. He's going to throw one that Byard could pick off, or if Jackson is in there, he could pick off, or Logan can pick off. So we got to, definitely take advantage of possible turnovers, maybe try to get some fumbles as well. But the Titans have had historic trouble covering the tight end. And Darren Waller is one heck of a tight end. He definitely is like a receiver. He can go deep. He can run all the necessary routes, and he's dangerous. So Dayon Brown has his work cut out for him. He's going to have to shut him down. I think we have the linebackers to do that, or if they bring in Hooker at times to do that too. We have got to find a way to contain Darren Waller. Now, Jack Doyle, I know he had 7 catches and a touchdown against us. Honestly, after that first drive, Jack Doyle had a couple of catches, but it wasn't really meaningful except for that touchdown catch. Other than that, yeah, he had some catches, but they were not big. It was like 7 catches, maybe like 70 yards or something like that, if I remember. But we got to be careful with Waller. Also, they got Foster Moreau and also Carrier as well. So they got 3 tight ends they don't mind throwing to. So we have got to be careful of that. They got Zay Jones on the outside. They got Terrell Williams and also what is the other kid's name that plays wide receiver? Keelan Doss. Also. So I mean, they don't really throw to their receivers a lot, but we got to be cognizant of that because they may try to do that anyway. Offensively, point number 3. This could be a big day for Ryan Tannehill. I know we want to run the ball with Derrick Henry, but I would start with passing the ball to get a lead. We have got to get a lead early. If we could get up by 2 touchdowns on the Raiders, they're going to crumble. If we could get up in the first quarter or the first part of the second quarter, if we could be up 14-0, 17-3, if we can get up 21-0 or 21-3, the Raiders are going to crumble. They're not going to be able to come back from that. The Raiders, they can pass the ball, but they're not equipped to come back from behind. So we got to get a lead. We got to get ahead. Could be a big day for Ryan Tannehill. Something that I've really noticed with the Raiders, they have a lot of trouble with crossing routes. If you run a lot of drag routes or slants and things like that, the Raiders have a lot of trouble with crossing routes, and a lot of damage has been done to them with those routes. And they are very susceptible to the big play. The Raiders have given up more than 60 plays of 20 yards or more. That is almost a league lead. They're tied for they might be tied for second or could be tops in the league for most plays over 20 yards given up. They have given up a lot of yards. They've given up a lot of big plays. So big plays could be there for the taking. Absolutely. So that could be a big day for Ryan Tannehill. And that pass could set up the run, which leads me to number 4. Be patient with the running game because we're probably going to have to pass the ball some. And, Derrick Henry, the Raiders are pretty decent against the run, but this is Derrick Henry we're talking about. He could torch any run defense. And I think he's going to torch this defense in the second half. But we got to block the edge. Conklin and Lewan have got to be on their game because Crosby and Farrell are pretty good, especially Max Crosby. That dude reminds me of a young Kyle Vanden Bosch. He has a motor. It does not stop. Max Crosby can get after the quarterback. I like him. So that's just something that we have to do. Let's see. Going back, reading a few comments. We haven't seen Tannehill's best game yet. He's going to put his team on his back. Him and Henry, they got to stay together. Absolutely. Let's see. Derek Roberts says, Marcus never ran more than 1 week of offseason sessions. Tannehill does 2 per week. Very interesting. But I don't know. Rashard Matthews did kind of quit on the team, so I don't know if that's something. We will put Byard and Brown on Waller. We should. We're going to have to double team Waller. We have got to contain him. Absolutely. Let's see. Dion says their running back scares me. Hey, he scares me too. He's an Alabama back. Very, very good. Very, very good. What's up, King Isaac? Next game is an easy win. I'm not going to say that yet. I'm not going to say that. It might be I think we can't. I think we will win this game, but it ain't going to be easy. Titans never make the game easy. So we're definitely going to have to see about that. But here's my prediction. And once again, I'm sticking with my early season projections. I got us beating the Oakland Raiders. I think we're going to beat the Oakland Raiders. I'm going to say we've been scoring 30 points a game. I think that continues. I just think if we get out to a lead, the Raiders are not going to be able to catch up. I'm gonna go big in this game. I'm gonna say, I'm honestly gonna go. I'm gonna stick with the number. I'm gonna say 30-10. I think 30-10. I think the Titans take the Raiders and go to 8-5. I think they pull away. I think they get to a nice lead early, and then they start to pull away. Then they get off to a good 2-touchdown lead early, and maybe make it 3 scores, and then Derrick Henry finishes them off. Because by the fourth quarter, they're not going to want to tackle Derrick Henry. So I think that's what happens. I think Derrick Henry gets another 100-yard game. I think Tannehill maybe has a shot at a 300-yard game this time. I think Tannehill gets a 300-yard game. I think Corey Davis, I think A.J. Brown has a big play. Derrick Henry's going to break a big run, and I think either A.J. Brown or Corey Davis will have a big play, whether it be a long touchdown or maybe a long 40-yard catch and run. That's what I think is going to happen. I think they win 4 in a row. They're going to be 8-5 going into the game against the Houston Texans. That's what I think is going to happen. Quickly before we get out of here, I'm going to get ready to watch some wrestling. Blue bombshell question, and we're going to make this real quick. If you don't go to Nissan Stadium for a Titans game, if the Titans are not playing, if you could go to any stadium, any NFL stadium, where would you go? I have my top 5. If the Titans are not playing, Nissan Stadium is not in this conversation. Any stadium that you could go to watch a game, where would you go? Now, Hunter says Jerry World, and I agree. I wouldn't mind going to see the Dallas Cowboys lose. But my aim is, hopefully, if my Memphis Tigers take care of business Saturday against the Cincinnati Bearcats, that I will be going to Jerry World, that I'll be going to Jerry World late December. I think that'll be the weekend that we play the Texans in Houston. Oh, Dad, that's very interesting. They'll be in Houston that weekend. Could Slick might try to go to that last game of the year and then fly back. I might just do that, but it's in Houston, not Dallas. I don't know how far Houston is from Dallas. Jerry World will be very interesting. Dio9 says Seattle. I like that choice too. I definitely like that choice as well. To see the 12th man. Absolutely. But here are my top 5. These are my top 5 NFL stadiums I would love to visit. One, I would have to say I already gave it, Jerry World. I plan on going there. I just want to see the stadium. Take the Cowboys out of it. I want to see the stadium up close. That's 1. 2 is Lambeau Field, not in the cold. I would love to see Lambeau Field. That is a historic stadium of major proportions. I would love to see Titletown. Absolutely. 3 is definitely Seattle. I would love to see that 12th man be loud and everything. Number 4, and this is where it gets a little tough, gets a little tricky. I would have to say the Superdome, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the Dome. Well, actually, you know what? Take that back. Both Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the one in New Orleans, the Superdome, and the one in Atlanta. Those are my top 5. Absolutely. So I would say Jerry World, Lambeau Field, Century Link Field in Seattle, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Those are my top 5. Honorable mention, well, I really won't call this an honorable mention because I will be there, is in Tampa, Raymond James Stadium, the new Sombrero. Can't wait to go there for WrestleMania. I got my tickets for WrestleMania. I'm going to be in the house. I will be there at Raymond James Stadium. Joseph says, no one will survive at the Black Hole Sunday. CenturyLink Field. Definitely. Oh, another honorable mention. Yes, U.S. Bank Field in Minnesota. Won't be freezing cold. Absolutely. So I like that from Shaolin. Fantastic. But y'all, I know I've been over an hour. Y'all, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in to Tell You the Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. Make sure y'all tune in for the recap Sunday. Y'all go enjoy this night. Make sure y'all share this show out. And let me know what y'all think. Do I do well? Do I suck? Let me know. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And let me know what y'all think of that. And we're going to definitely have some fun. I'm finna get on out of here. I'm finna go watch me some WWE and some AEW. And I thank y'all again for tuning in. I'm finna go watch Vikings. And I'm going to holler at y'all because, like Joseph said, no one will survive. Tighten up. What will happen to the Raiders? Good night, y'all. Tighten up. Tighten tough. Titans and Truth out.